Hello, welcome to the Child Support section of the ULV Justice Center website. Glad to have you. For a quick disclaimer, the information provided on this site is not legal advice, but is provided for informational purposes only. If you are in need of legal advice, we advise you to consult with an attorney. Overview of the law. Child support is the amount of money that a court orders a parent or both parents to pay every month in order to help pay for the support of their child and the child's living expenses. The main objective of child support is to make sure both parents play a role in raising their child and the child has consistent livelihoods between the parents' homes. One parent should not be completely poor while the other parent is rich. This creates an unstable living situation for the child. How does child support start? Each parent is equally responsible for providing for the financial needs of their child, but the court cannot enforce this obligation until there is an order for support. A parent must ask the court to make an order establishing paternity and to also ask the court to make an order for child support. Child support payments are usually made until your child turns 18 or 19 if they are still in high school full-time. Either parent can ask the judge to make a child support order as part of one of these cases: divorce, legal separation, annulment, a petition to establish parental relationship, domestic violence restraining order, or a petition for custody and support of minor child. Asking for a child support order legal process. To set up a child support order for your child, you or the other parent must ask for a court order, either directly from the court or through the local child support agency. This will depend on: do you already have a family court case, or are you starting a case for the first time? What if you do not have an open case and need to start one? If you are married to the other parent or you are a registered domestic partner, you can ask for a child support order in these type of instances. You can ask for a child support order once you file for a divorce, legal separation, or annulment. You can get a temporary order for child support while you are waiting for the final judgment in your case. Once you have opened a divorce or legal separation case and you want a temporary order for child support while waiting for the final divorce, you can ask for a court date for child support issues. What if you do not have an open case and have a domestic violence restraining order? If you have been a victim of domestic violence, you can ask for child support when you ask for a domestic violence restraining order against the other parent of your child. When you fill out your restraining order papers, make sure you also fill out a request for child custody and visitation orders, Form DV-105. The purpose of the form is to make a request for child custody and visitation orders. Information that is needed to complete this form includes your child custody order and information pertaining to expenses. Evidence that you would need to provide would include your tax return, pay stubs, and evidence of expenses for the child. Evidence of expenses for the child include schooling fees and/or medical fees. You can access this form on the california.ca.gov page or click the link above to access the form. Once you have completed the form, it will be one of the papers you file with your court in order to continue your child custody and visitation order. What if you have an open case and want to request a hearing for child support? To ask for a court date on child support, fill out your court forms, the request for orders FL 300 and income and expense declaration FL 150, or a financial statement simplified FL 155. For the FL 300 form, its purpose is to ask the court to make new orders or to change orders on your case. For the FL 150 form, it is an income and expense declaration, and it is where you detail everything you earn and spend. You can access the FL 150 form from either the california.ca.gov page or from this website. A resource to help you fill out this form would be your family law facilitators. For FL 155 form, its purpose is to enclose the party's income and expenses. Information needed in order to fill out the form is proof of income. You can access this form from either the california.ca.gov page or from this website. A resource to help you fill out this form would also be your family law facilitator. Once you have finished the form, you can file it with your court. Secondly, have your forms reviewed. Ask your court's family law facilitator to review your paperwork. Make copies of your forms. Fill out your forms with a court clerk. The clerk will give you a court date. Serve your papers on the other parent. File your proof of service. Go to your court hearing. And lastly, after the court hearing, the judge will sign a court order. Burden of proof. The parent who has custody of the child is called the custodial parent. The parent that is not the custodial parent is required by law to pay an allowance or child support to help the custodial parent cover their child's expenses. Below are the different steps or elements that the court will look into in order to set up child support for the custodial parent. Are you eligible for child support? These are some of the factors the court will look into to make that decision. What percentage of physical custody do you have with a child? What is your monthly income? And are you paying child support for another child? Calculating child support. California has a statewide formula called a guideline for figuring out how much child support should be paid. If you or the other parent cannot agree on child support, the judge will decide the child support amount based on the guideline calculation. The guideline calculation depends on how much money the parents earn or can earn, how much the other income each parent receive, how much children these parents have together, how much time each parent spends with their children, timeshare, the actual tax filing status of each parent, support of children from other relationships, health insurance expenses, mandatory union dues, mandatory retirement contributions, and the cost of sharing daycare and uninsured health care costs. The child support order may also require the parents to share the cost for childcare to allow the parent to work or to get training or schooling for work skills, children's reasonable health care expenses, traveling for a visitation from one parent to another, children's educational needs, and other special needs. Evidence that can be used to prove the facts of your case. There needs to be an establishment that the paternity of the other parent is proven. Have you gone to family court to get a child support order? If you have, the child support servicers can offer location, support collection, or support enforcement services. The court will almost always award child support to the parent who is paying health care for the child. You must provide payroll deductions or the amount you pay monthly for health care to the court. Income, deductions, health care, child care, and dependents. The court will also look into the overnight visits with each parent. This will give credit to the parent who should get the proper amount of support. If a child support case is ongoing, the court will look into and see if the other parent has made the required child support, and if they have not, the court will consider that factor for future child support decisions. The court will make sure the one parent is working to the fullest and not purposely earning less or is voluntarily unemployed. This factor will be added to the determination of child support. Common questions involving child support. What if both parents share equal financial responsibility? If you and the other parent are equally sharing the same financial support, it is still possible to seek child support. You will receive child support if you have more custody, the other parent makes more money, and/or you can prove that it is in the child's best interest. Are you able to get child support if you and the other parent have the same amount of physical custody? If your child spends equal time living with both parents, they can both be considered custodial parents. Even in these type of cases, a parent can be ordered to pay child support if there is a large difference in your income compared to the other parent. What things you will need to exchange and give to the court. A recent W-2 or tax returns will be needed, along with pay stubs to show amount and tax exemptions, and or any other document that shows income and loss. How do you know the amount of child support is fair? The court will make sure the child support is fair. The factors that they take into consideration, like mentioned above, is where the child lives the most, the income of both parents, the cost of child care's daycare and health care, and the age of the child. All of these factors are considered in order to make sure the amount is fair to the other parent. How do I change the child support order? You can file to modify child support order if you or the other parent's finances have changed by more than 10%. This could be due to an increase of child support itself, suspension of the child support order, or the determination of the child support. You must file this with the court. Modifications are not automatic. If you do not modify an order, it stays in effect as is forever. This means you could be possible for paying child support when you no longer have a job or after the child is older than 19. What if the other parent is incarcerated? Child support will not be ordered until the other parent is no longer incarcerated. What if the other court records show that you owe more money than you think you do? You can bring your receipts and records of payment to child support services and ask to speak to a supervisor. You can also request an audit for your child support account. What if you do not want to pay the child support ordered? You must continue to pay what the court ordered until the court changes the order. If you do not pay the court order, the judge could find you in contempt for not following its orders. They might order a fine. They may make you spend time in jail and or have your wages halted. Explanation of forms and templates. The Child Support Study Aid. The purpose of this form is to help you follow along with the video and help you understand possible difficult legal terms that are shown on this page. The information needed to complete this form is the information on this page to help guide you. You can access this form at the top of the page by clicking the Child Support Study Aid button. By clicking on the button, it will take you to the link for the study aid. Once you have completed this form, you can use it to help you achieve filing for child support. File for child support. The purpose of this link is to help you file for child support. The information that is needed to complete this includes your personal information and the helpful tips that are on this page to help guide you. You can access the File for Child Support information by clicking the button below. By clicking the button, it will take you to the page in order to file for child support. Once you have reviewed the pages, you can start the process in order to file for child support. This has been an overview of the child support section of the law. On behalf of the ULD Justice Center, we thank you for your time and hope this information is helpful in your legal matter.